Hey, my fam, what's going on? It's your boy Street. You already know. I hope you guys doing well. Today was going to be a music video night, Saturday night. But earlier today, I was watching the news, and I do have to say that they are trying to uh, give away the fourth dose. Now, the FDA did not get approved to that dose. Even though they're giving it out, the FDA never said okay. Now you're gonna watch a video how this gentleman explains how it works, and you don't have to take it. Not on those words, but he said it. Check out the video, drop a comment, and let me know what you think.
Older to get a second booster dose of the COVID vaccine, especially as our area sees a rise in cases of BA2 subvariant. Well, that booster was authorized without the FDA Vaccine Advisory Committee. So earlier this week, that committee met to map out the future of boosters and the COVID vaccine. Joining us right now, FDA Vaccine Advisory Committee panelist and director of the Children's Hospital of Philadelphia's Vaccine Education Center, Dr. Paul Offit. Nice to have you back on Good Day New York.
Good morning.
So, why are they doing this other booster shot without your recommendation or seal of approval?
Well, I wish they had gone through our committee and made it a vote, because then that committee meeting is open to the public. The public could hear what we would have seen as some weaknesses in those data. I mean, I think that it's probably reasonable that if someone's over 65 and has multiple comorbidities, meaning kind of health problems that put them at risk of serious disease, you could reasonably get a fourth dose. But if you look at the European Medicines Agency, which reviews the same data, they make a recommendation for those people over 80 as a should be considered recommendation. You can argue now, when the numbers are really fairly down, it's April, we're heading into May. If I was to get a fourth dose, and I'm not, I mean, I'm over 65 years of age and I'm in no rush to get a fourth dose. Maybe I'll get it as we move into next winter, but I doubt it.
Wow, so you're not going to get another dose of the vaccine. So we're hearing people getting sick right now in New York City. Everybody from Sarah Jessica Parker on Broadway to the Speaker of the House, Nancy Pelosi. Bianca and I both had COVID the end of December, beginning of January. I was double vaccinated and boosted. My partner here vaccinated twice. Don't run to get a booster.
No, I think what we're going to have to get used to is the fact that if you've gotten, say, 3 doses of vaccine, that you are going to be protected against serious illness. If you've been naturally infected, you are going to be protected against serious illness. But over time, the neutralizing antibodies generated in your bloodstream will fade within 6 months. So you're then going to be at risk for mild or asymptomatic illness. It's true for all mucosal viruses, and we're going to have to get used to that. Right now, we have this kind of zero tolerance notion for this virus. But if you've been naturally infected or immunized or both, you are going to be protected against serious disease probably for years, and that's all you can expect. We are going to have to suffer mild disease associated with this mucosal virus, as we suffer mild disease with many mucosal winter viruses. And right now, we just can't seem to tolerate that. But we're going to have to get used to it, because these vaccines don't protect against mild disease for long.
No, they certainly don't. Now, let me just get this straight. So what you're saying is that if you've already had COVID and didn't even get vaccinated, does that protection protect against severe illness?
In some ways, it depends about the nature of the illness. If you had an asymptomatic infection, you probably are less protected against severe illness, because the burden of disease initially was lower. I mean, the advantage of a vaccine is you get a known amount of the what is ultimately going to be that SARS-CoV-2 spike protein, to which you'll make an immune response. But for the most part, people who were naturally infected are protected against serious illness. Yes, that should count.
Yeah. Why do you think that doesn't count, though? Why the non-transparency for the reason to push a fourth dose? There's like no open communication in terms of letting the American people know, or just the world know in general, that the things that you're saying are true.
Well, I think it's more bureaucratic than anything else. When, for example, universities or colleges or various institutes mandated the vaccine, the question of saying, okay, if you've been naturally infected, you don't need to get a vaccine, would be a matter of proof. I mean, how do you prove that you were naturally infected? It's pretty easy to lie about that. It's not hard to find, say, look, here's a PCR test that was positive. People are able to get false vaccination cards. I think it was bureaucratic more than anything else. We were asked this question. A number of immunologists, were asked to talk to the administration a while ago about this question. And so the administration certainly was considering all this, that natural infection is protective, because there are many studies that have shown that it is, as you would expect, would be true, because it's true for many other mucosal viruses.
What about that vaccine for kids 5 and under?
Right. So we were initially asked to meet on February 15th to discuss this. Pfizer was in the midst of the 3-dose trial, but they'd only finished data on 2 doses. So it was too much to imagine that we were going to say, okay, we're going to assume the 3rd dose is going to be more effective. We're going to assume the 3rd dose is just the same. So that meeting ended up getting canceled. I suspect we will be.
Why do you think there are some people in power the heck out of everybody with this variant when
No, I think it's a good point. We keep, the interesting thing is that these vaccines that we're currently getting, the 5, all made to protect against that original strain, the Wuhan variant that left China, called D614G, which was replaced by Alpha. Now it's being replaced by BA2. The good news is protection against severe disease continues to hold up. The bad news with Omicron and BA2 is those 2 strains are not necessarily more contagious. What they are is they're more immune evasive. So even if you've been naturally infected, if you've been vaccinated, you still could get a mild illness with those 2 variants. And that's why now you have a whole new population you can affect, because even if you've been vaccinated, you still can get a mild illness. That's the problem with Omicron.